Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I am Mr. Blast, and today we are taking a look at the Imagination Works Dragon Ball Z Son Goku 1/9 scale action figure. We're going to go over his articulation, his accessories, his overall paint apps, and we're going to see if he is worthy of being added to your collection. Let's get him off the stand and find out. Okay, so now we got him off the stand, and I must say, he is a good-looking Goku. He looks exactly like Goku, as if he was brought into the third dimension, and other than a few things here and there that I am not a huge fan of, he is a good-looking representation of Goku. Let's go over articulation. Let's just get into that. His head is on a ball peg. He can look up without making the waist look up too much. Goku can. I'm trying to really keep his waist down. He does look up a little bit. You can see it's got a nice looking up. He can look down. Like, he can look way down. So the neck joint actually really favors looking down instead of up. He can sit all the way up, though, so at least you get that look. You can turn the head down and make the neck, you know, sit straight. So that's kind of nice. We'll get into this in a little bit on the seam on his head. Let's see, he's put his arms up in the T-pose. And if you've never handled this figure, it startled me. I'm not going to lie. It startled me the first time that I picked him up and I took him out of the packaging. I wasn't ready for this. Those of you that have this figure, or I don't know, kind of had figures like this in the past, this is my first. I honestly couldn't tell you. I don't think I've ever owned a figure in my entire collecting life that's had silicone skin. I can't make this up. It was the weirdest thing. I had no idea that it was even a thing on this figure. It's silicone. It's meant to represent skin texture, although I don't know if it's been executed properly. His hands don't have that, thank goodness, because you have to remove the hands, and he's got a ton of accessories, so we're going to go into that as well. But without me dwelling on it too much, just a word of precaution. Do not be alarmed when you feel his arms, and it's got a very squishy silicone feeling to it. This part is that hard plastic, which is nice. But this, it threw me off. It's not terrible. I can't attest to the longevity of it, depending on the environment that he's in, for as long as you have it in your collection. I really don't know. But that's what it is. That's what I got, guys. So let's see if we can spin his arms in a 360. Kinda, and you can kind of see some of the issues I'm having with this right here. Yeah, I can't spin his arm all the way around on 360. He does have a good butterfly joint. You can see how far out that goes, and the shirt back here really hides it. This is like a vinyl rubber piece, I guess. I don't really know. I'm not too familiar with the materials and stuff they use in these figures, but this is nice because it doesn't show the back here. A lot of figures you get, even figure arts, they haven't quite gotten this down yet, and I like the way that's implemented because look, it stretches out from underneath his shirt, which is good. He does have bicep swivel. You can turn it all the way around. Again, you kind of have to hold the skin in place. It just sounds so weird saying that, but if you guys ever pick up this figure, you'll know what I'm talking about once you get it. Double jointed elbow. And again, this looks great because it's all one single piece right here. It is not like, you know, elbow plate, inner workings like we've seen on a lot of figures before. The hands spin around freely. This is another point of contempt for me with this. Is I don't know what happened with the wrist joints here. They come out very easily, and it's not from coming out from here to here. It's more in here to inside the arm. So just be aware of that. This also comes off if you take the wrist off. I don't know why you want to take this off, but it's there. So it is a movable piece, which is kind of cool. I give it that. Let's go on to his torso and waist. He can pull up about that far, and then you start seeing the inner workings of his waist right here. Let's see how far forward he can go. Not much at all. That's about as much as you get moving forward. So there's that. He can do that much of a split. That's it. You can't get any more than that. Until you start moving the legs around and stuff like that, you can't really do any splits with this Goku. The waist can swivel back and forth, which is really good. It's good for posing, so I'll give it that. Definitely a +1 on that. The waistband slash belt does not move. It's one solid piece. He can throw his leg up, which is good, 90 degrees. He can go backwards with it, also 90. This looks weird right here, I'm not gonna lie, when I started posing it. He has a thigh swivel, but it suffers from that SH Figuarts thigh inside of a upper thigh inside of a lower thigh. I don't know how to explain that. Again, you guys have seen some of the other videos I've done on this channel with, you know, characters like Super Saiyan Trunks, the boy from the future. I haven't done him yet, but like Super Saiyan 4, Goku, and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, they definitely have it. I think even Ultimate Gohan, the later release, has it too. I'm kind of looking at it from here, and I can see it. He's in the background. I don't know if he's out of focus, so you can't see it. But he's got double jointed knee, which is nice. It doesn't look too bad right here until you get into this. This reminds me of Figure-Rise Goku. I can probably try to get a picture and put it up here. I don't know if I can, though, because I don't know if they ever show the knees. But this isn't bad. It's just this is kind of awkward. The back of the knee doesn't look that bad either. It's just this, the whole cupping the pants into the leg. But I get it, they had to do it for mobility, to make him move, you know? He can kind of sort of turn his leg or his shin. Really, unless you're forcing it, I wouldn't recommend it. He's got the rocker on his foot. He can go back and forth with it. He's got toe pivot, which works pretty well. So you have that. It kind of, when you do the rocker though, it kind of reveals a lot of this in here, unfortunately. We'll definitely have to do a review on Vegeta because I do have that one. So yeah, that's it right there. So he looks pretty good. The back leaves a little bit to be desired. This is a weird seam right here down the middle. But he's not the worst Goku. He's a good representation of Goku. I'm trying not to be too hypercritical over this guy. I waited a while before I got this, and he looks good. That's the thing. He looks like a good Goku. I don't know how many times I have to say it to repeat it to myself that he looks like a good Goku. And he is. He poses really well. He stands up really well. I don't really have to mess with him. Look, I turned his ankle down a little bit, bam, and he stands perfectly straight up, no problem. So let's get into his accessories and the things that he comes with, and we'll see if it's worth it. So the first we're going to pull up is the Super Saiyan head sculpt. I just kind of stuck the eyes in here. Goku has 2 sets of eyes for the Super Saiyan look. I really like how they did the white frosted tips up here. I really, really like that. The paint is really nice on the hair. It's very spiky, so just be aware of that when you go to switch heads and all that stuff like that. This front hair piece does come off. It doesn't come off that easy, so it'll stay up there if you're doing poses and things like that. Now, what they did with this figure, I'll see if I can get his face off of here. It is on there really good. The head sculpts with the faces are basically 3 pieces, and I just kind of showed it there. So the eyes you can swap out. And let's just look at his face sculpt right here. This is his neutral face. And the panel lining looks really good. Good skin tone. It matches the his arms and his neck and stuff like that. So give it kudos for that. The eyes are a completely separate piece, and they are in there good. So just be very careful when you're going to take them out. But you can see how they did that. With the eyes right there. So we're going to put this back in here. I'm going to stick the face back on. You can put the eyes inside the head and then put everything on in one piece, or the face rather. So you can totally do that. But this is a really nice head sculpt. I really like it. I like the frosted white tips. And everything else looks really good. There's the standard ball peg inside here. So it looks really, really good. Here's his other face with the grinning teeth. I stuck the forward-facing eyes in there, as you can see. You can take them out. They'll fit inside the other head sculpt where his eyes are just, or his face is just neutral. But you can do that. It's completely up to you how you want to make him look. I'm trying to put this back in here. Yeah, see? Looks really good. It gives it a little bit of depth that you can take the eyes out and put them in a different face. Let me focus on that. There we go. But yeah, so there you get that. So let's pull this off to the side. Here is his normal form head sculpt without the eyes in it. A couple of pegs that hold in. No, this doesn't pop out. I wish it did. You could put it in another head, but it doesn't let you do that. So there's that. I'm going to stick a set of eyes in here. He actually has 1, 2, 3 sets of eyes for his base form. So he's got the one with the neutral looking forward, this one looking to his left. And it looks really nice. And then you got the other set of eyes that looks to his right. We'll just sit those in there. I can show you guys how it looks. If I can get them out. That's the only thing is, like, there's really nothing that... I mean, unless you just have something laying around that's not sharp, you can shove it through here and take his eyes out. But there's his other set of eyes right there. It looks pretty good. I like this representation of Goku. Like I said, there's a few shortcomings with this figure. However, when you put him next to the Vegeta figure in the same line, I really like it. I like it just because it's Dragon Ball Z. I feel like you can never have enough DBZ or Super or GT, whatever figures. Here's the first set of hands we're going to look at. Excuse me, guys, if I sound nasally. The allergies, I think, are kind of acting up again. But here's his completely open palm hands. They look good. Very reminisce of figure arts. They're just larger. Of course, it's a 1/9 scale. So here is the partially clenched fingers here. These are essentially the Kamehameha hands that he gets. And they look pretty good. I've got a little bit of a seam right there on his thumb. I think on both of these. Yeah, it's not as bad here. This one, you can kind of see it more. Okay. Let's pull the other hands up. These are his fighting pose, martial arts hands. Again, just picture him as just a oversized figure arts, I guess. He's got one of each for instant transmission, instantaneous movement, whatever you want to call it. But he's got one of each. It makes me think that we could have gotten a Piccolo in this line. If Imagination Works makes a Piccolo, I'd be cool with that. But yeah, just paint the hands green. Give him some white or black fingernails. I think that's what he's got on either one. So, come on, let go of Vegeta. I have Vegeta off to the side here to show you guys what he looks like. But he's not a bad-looking Goku. Oh, I forgot to mention, he does come with a stand. So if you have trouble posing him, he does come with a stand. He's got the crotch grabber here. He's got the waist grabber here. You don't have to have the crotch grab piece. He actually has just a regular piece. Oh, here it is. It's this one right here. So you can just put the hooks on each side without having the crotch grab. But honestly, he's got a little bit of weight to him on the bottom, so I'd probably recommend just putting this whole piece on and then just calling it a day. It's held in essentially by friction. It does hold in pretty well. It says Imagination Works on Goku. High quality sculpture, coloring, texture, value, articulation, 1/9 scale action figure. On the bottom, it's hollow. Not much to it. Pretty easy to put together. If you're going to put him on the shelf, maybe just set him up with the stand. It would just be better. Here he is next to my Vegeta, the same line. The scaling is like almost perfect. Like Goku is just that little bit taller than Vegeta. I really like this representation of Vegeta. It's done very well. It's probably one of my favorites. This Goku, while he looks really good, he's not perfect. There is a few shortcomings here and there of the figure itself. Would I recommend it to, casual Dragon Ball collectors? Probably not. It's just, there's a few things that if you're not careful with it, you could damage your figure. You just have to be really, really careful. Again, if joints are too tight, if like his hands won't pop out, just run it under some warm water for a few minutes and just kind of loosen up the pegs, and the hands should come off easy. Again, just be really careful when you are handling these figures. These aren't toys, they are collectibles. And I'm a collector and I love toys. You guys can see back here, I love action figures and all that. I got a ton of them up there. So I want to thank Big Bad Toy Store for sending this over. Really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much for sending that. He will go really nicely next to the Vegeta I have. And I want to thank you guys for watching this video. What do you think of the Imagination Works Son Goku 1/9 scale action figure? Would you pick this up? Would you add him to your collection and grab that Vegeta while you're at it? If so, I will leave a link down in the description below to Big Bad Toy Store. He is ready to go, ready to ship in stock as of the time of this recording. So if you guys would like to grab one, please click that link and order straight from there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed this content. Let me know down below. Do you want this figure? Would you like this figure? Let me know. Thank you guys so much, and I'll catch you on the next one. Later.